This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Roberto on this digital Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And we are once again coming to you from Jackson Square, New Orleans, where the Super Bowl will be played in just 5 days. Don't worry, we're going to have plenty of Super Bowl coverage later in the show, but we're going to start on the ice. Because we got an all-Canadian matchup tonight in Calgary, as the Leafs are in town tonight taking on the Flames. The last time these two teams faced off was over a year ago, and that one went Toronto's way thanks to the heroics of Auston Matthews, as he netted a hat-trick and an assist in a 4-3 Leafs win. And Austin's hoping to have a repeat performance tonight, because if he does, he'll make some Leafs history. He currently sits just a goal behind Daryl Sittler, for second in all-time goals with the franchise. And if he can score 2 tonight, he'd accomplish that feat in just his 600th game, which is also an important milestone for Auston, as his goal scoring through 600 is already among the best in league history. Yeah, the 5 names ahead of him, Yuri Curry, Brett Hull, Mike Bossy, Mario Lemieux, and Wayne Gretzky. Yeah, haha, all-time greats. For reference, Matthews is almost 20 goals ahead of where Ovi was at the same stage in his career, which saying that out loud is bananas. Like, we are witnessing history upon history now. But it won't come easy, as the Leafs are running into one of the hottest goalies in the league in Dustin Wolf. Ever since the new year, the Flames goalie has been on fire. Well, that was pun intended, wasn't it? And he was just named the NHL Rookie of the Month for January. Wolf's strong play has also catapulted him to 3rd in the Calder odds. And although he's still a bit of a long shot, he'd be the first goalie to win the award since Grimsby Peach King legend Steve Mason. And our producer, Christopher Hine, is from Grimsby, so you can imagine how excited he is. A lot would have to go right for that to happen, but a signature victory over Matthews and Toronto would be a great start. And those of you in the Leafs region can watch tonight's game on TSN. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern. Of course, as a Leafs fan, I want Matthews to shut all this down, so yeah. As I said at the top of the show, we are just 5 days away from Super Bowl Sunday, and the energy in New Orleans is starting to build. I realize you can't hear it because my mic is so good, but there is literally a band playing right beside us across the street where they're serving beignets and perhaps the best coffee I've ever had in my life. And last night was Super Bowl opening night, which is always a whirlwind experience. Let's take you behind the curtain in the latest edition of Roberto on the Go. You never really know who or what you're gonna get Super Bowl media night, but you gotta try, and sometimes you get shut down. Had to settle for a handshake from Chad Johnson, then Jameis Winston would step in on every single scrum. Here he is again, tossing cookies literally to DeAndre Hopkins. A handful of players make the podiums and the rest are roaming, but it was very tight quarters, so you had to do your best to sneak in there and get an interview. This is my tactic, just sneak a hand in there for a handshake. Other outlets dressed like the coaches for attention. I actually don't think he liked me taking that video, but you know what? That's too damn bad. Now we had Guillermo. Guillermo stepped in on a few of these interviews as well, but the secret about this that I just found out is that he has a producer in his ear telling him what to say. He stands on the other side of the scrum, so no one will notice. And we love interviews interrupted by loud music.
Very passionate.
Luca's not wrong, it was a lot of work. We're even competing with people who are recording on iPads. And that was just Monday. What do we got next, sketch?
Tuesday, awesome.
Comparing both media nights, Vegas and NOLA, it was wildly different. I don't know, it felt like almost everyone was there to interview the Eagles and less the Chiefs. I don't know, it was interesting. You can watch Super Bowl 59 on TSN and CTV, Sunday at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Okay, there's so many fun perks at Super Bowl week, like the one you just saw at opening night. Well, if you know anything about me and the show, you know we're just here for the food. And last night we got to experience what exactly will be on the menu in the stadium Super Bowl Sunday. And my God, it was glorious. Alligator sausage. We're getting a preview of all the food being served at Super Bowl 59 tonight, so let's take a look. A traditional New Orleans cake. We got crab, we got lobster. We got alligator sausage.
It's local alligator sausage. This is local etouffee.
Carved tomahawk. Chicken and sausage gumbo. Seafood nachos. To the concessions. A lobster karaage Sammy. And a big easy hen of the woods banh mi. Oh boy. A fried oyster, po' boy, BLT.
Louisiana favorite. He thinks the oyster po' boy is the best. I'm saying it's a surf and turf. So this is our Super Bowl 59 surf and turf po' boy. It's 5 crispy fried shrimp and a 9-hour smoked and braised short rib.
Another chef was saying that his is better. Okay. They didn't forget drinks. Have a loaded Bloody Mary, Voodoo Magic, and Royal Carnival Queen. And now the best part, we get to sample it all.
Phenomenal.
Oh dear. This was the oyster. And producer Chris has the alligator sausage.
This is for Chubbs from Happy Gilmore. That's crazy.
Sometimes when I show you all the things that we eat, I fear I might be gloating too much. But remember, after all the gloating comes the bloating. Just a reminder, you can watch the Super Bowl Sunday on TSN and CTV, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. To the association, and has there ever been a roller coaster of emotion quite like this Raptors season? I mean, most years they're consistent. Consistently good for about 10 years, and then consistently bad for the last few. But what once looked like prime tanking position, and the second worst record in the NBA, sure has changed. And that day was January 11th, and with the second worst record, you're thinking, okay, the tank is confirmed. We're cruising to a top 3 pick. But since then, the Raps have done the unthinkable, going 8-2. They are now closer to the play-in in the Eastern Conference than they are to the worst record in the NBA. Seriously, how did this happen? The answer to that is defense and Scotty Barnes. Let's start with defense. Over the last 10 games, the Raptors are second in the NBA in defensive rating, while also holding their opponents to just 44% from the field, which is also second in the NBA. But they're also elite in terms of opponent three-point percentage and points in the paint. So say what you will about the defense all year, but over the last 10 games, it's been arguably the best or second best in the association. Now, a big part of that defense, and also why they're 8-2 offensively, is the play of Scotty Barnes. Over the last 10, he's really filling it up, averaging pretty much a 28-6, with over a steal and block a game and not turning it over. The only critique would be his shooting at 42.4%. But if things were ever going to come crashing back down to earth, it would be tonight against the Knicks, who have won 6 of their last 7 and are in striking distance of the Celtics for the 2 seed. You can watch the Knicks and Raptors tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's it for today from New Orleans. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific. See you then.